Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to today's live training. My name is Jordan and I'm a marketing content specialist here at Pipeline ROI. Today we're going to talk about the basics of inbound marketing. I believe that for you to be able to successfully implement changes in your marketing with us, you need to understand why it is we do what we do. By now, it's likely that you've heard or read on our website about inbound marketing. After all, it's the basis for our entire platform, but hearing it and seeing it over and over again doesn't mean that you understand it or even know what it means, and that's okay. Today we're going to tackle that and look at how it relates to your Pipeline ROI platform. So let's go ahead and jump right in with what was probably your first question. What is inbound marketing? Simply put, it's a response to the inefficacy of traditional methods of marketing. Why? Because consumers continue to get better at tuning out traditional outbound interruptive marketing. Think about it. We use our DVR to skip commercials, we don't answer telemarketers' cold calls, and our spam filters catch unwanted emails before we ever even see them. So how do you win new clients when it seems so hard to reach them? Instead of blasting people with interruptive outbound methods they're likely to ignore, inbound marketing brings those clients to you. By using social media marketing, blogging, and other inbound methods, you provide remarkable content potential clients are seeking and position yourself as the go-to expert. When a potential client is ready to buy or sell, you're the one they seek out. Simply put, inbound is marketing made smarter. Think of it this way. Traditional outbound marketing is like a megaphone. You're broadcasting a mass message hoping someone, anyone, listens, while inbound marketing is like a magnet, drawing those potential interested clients to you. Imagine checking your email only to find content that actually helped you. Picture logging into Facebook and seeing valuable information instead of spam. Odds are, if you don't pay attention to the uninformative, non-relevant advertisements that surround you, your customers don't either. This is why marketing is changing, and it's changing for the better. You guys can kind of picture it this way. Whenever you're in the market for, let's say, a new car, before you even go to a dealership, I'm sure that you've already Googled exactly the brand that you want. You've looked up the make, the model, you know how many seats, how many doors, what color you want the paint to be, what color you want the interior to be. Every single thing about that car you've already picked out before you've stepped foot on a lot. Your customers are doing the exact same thing, and that's really the key when it comes to marketing, and especially inbound marketing, is recognizing the trends in your own consumer patterns and then being able to provide your customers with the same things that you would want when you're doing shopping. Have you ever noticed how active big brands are on social media, for instance, or how popular blogs have become? This is because businesses are realizing that consumers are overwhelmed with advertising, and the best way to reach them now is to offer valuable content, which in turn brings them to you. Consumers prefer brands that teach them something, make them laugh, or keep them informed over those that only seek to sell, sell, sell. So I'm going to show you guys one of the brands that I respect most for their social media marketing, and that is Taco Bell. Now, obviously, we all know what Taco Bell is. Perhaps they don't even require that much advertising. You see them on the side of the road. You pull over. Probably it's not your first choice very often. But Taco Bell has done a fantastic job of knowing exactly who their key demographic is, which is, the millennial college age market. It's cheap food that they can get a bunch for a low price. And they have really catered their marketing to that demographic. So I'm going to show you guys their Twitter feed. That's what we're looking at now. Right here and a little bit further down here, you can see that Taco Bell is taking advantage of Snapchat. Now, whether you guys know what Snapchat is or not, it's an app that goes on your phone that allows you to show and send short videos or pictures that delete themselves off a person's phone after a certain amount of time that you set. Companies like Taco Bell can actually have a feed that shows up as a story, which means that whenever someone clicks to view it, it doesn't delete itself, but it runs through those pictures or videos in the certain amount of time that they've allotted, and someone can see all of them. So it's really up and coming with millennials, and it's something that, in my opinion, and in many others' opinions, um, is something that could really change the game for real estate. You guys may be wondering how that could possibly apply to your profession. The way that you could use this, millennials are entering the housing market in droves. They're coming in. It's now the millennials' time to become those first-time home buyers. And because I'm a millennial, and one of the things that I turn to before I turn to anything else is social media, and that can include Snapchat. Something that you could do to take advantage of that, imagine if you had a Snapchat that someone could look at, and you're showing an open house that day, and all they have to do is click on it, and they could have you taking them through each room of that house. They don't have to take the time out of their day to even leave their own apartment or wherever they're living currently, and they can see a walkthrough of that home given by you, pictures taken of anything that you're important from their own personal space. That's how millennials like to communicate now, and it's something that I would start thinking about if I was you guys, to really reach, if that's the demographic that you want to reach, and we'll kind of talk about that later. If that's your demographic, is those first-time home buyers, the younger generation, think about Snapchat as a possible option. So anyways, back to Taco Bell. What they do so well is communicating and interacting with their consumers. They're retweeting pictures. These are pictures from proms across the country. These are, it's showing that they're listening to what their customers are saying. Here's another retweet. It throughout their entire feed, you see multiple retweets and tweets at people where they're just talking directly to their customers. Because their customers in general are millennials, millennials like to be heard, right? We think that we're very important. We want everyone to be paying attention to us. We think that we're, number one on the radar. Taco Bell does a great job of making people feel like that. Right here, they retweeted something that someone tweeted after their wedding. They had their wedding, they went to Taco Bell. Taco Bell retweeted that. Imagine if you saw someone in your local area tweeting about looking for a home, and you tweeted them directly, showing them that they're listening, or that you're listening, and showing them that you're really paying attention to what's going on the social media side of things as far as real estate goes. Being where your consumers are is critically important, and we'll kind of touch on that later. If your potential interested customers are millennials, and really if they're anyone else, there's billions of Facebook users in the world now. People are on Facebook. A lot of people are on Twitter as well. You need to be there if your customers are there, and they are. We'll touch on that a little bit later. All right. So, how does inbound marketing work? Inbound marketing works by giving people what they want. Rather than bombarding people with information and hoping it sticks, inbound brings the right customers to you. Creating and sharing content that reflects your potential customers' needs means you'll naturally attract interest and traffic. The goal is to get found through high search rankings. If your content shows up at the top of Google searches, it will drive more traffic and leads to you. And guys, the proof is really in the pudding here. 80% of people prefer getting information from an article over an ad. So how should you implement inbound marketing? Well, you guys have taken a fantastic first step by joining us over at Pipeline ROI and purchasing the platform. So now it's time to actually put it into action. Inbound marketing doesn't replace outbound marketing, but it should be your focus. In other words, there's nothing wrong with Google AdWords or hanging flyers and having billboards around your community. But by using our platform to manage your blog, your social media, your website, and doing some lead nurturing, you are a step ahead of your competition. You have everything you need in one simple, convenient system. Plus, we're here to help you along the way with tips and training. Instead of just telling you what to do, we actually help you do it. And perhaps the best part is that inbound marketing is cost effective. It costs 61% less per lead to implement inbound rather than outbound marketing. You know, you've probably heard the phrase, as we all have, that it takes money to make money. Wouldn't you rather it take a little less and make you a little more? That's what inbound can do for you. It can cost you less. It does cost you less, but it can bring in more than you ever would have thought. But you have to actually put the work in. So why does this matter to you guys? Why should the change in the marketing scape affect you in the real estate or mortgage industry? Well, you've seen the shift that real estate marketing has made already. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, right? Agents who depend solely on face-to-face interactions and referrals are missing opportunities to reach tens of thousands more potential clients through social media and a quality blog. It's important to be aware of and adapt to the new home buying process of consumers. I'm going to repeat that one more time because it's so important. It is important to be aware of and adapt to the new home buying process of consumers. Guys, we all know that things don't stay the same year after year. Everything changes, everything evolves, and now that technology is at the forefront of really the frontier of everything that's going on in the world right now, you have to move quickly and you have to move along. You can't stand back and watch everything around you change and think that your same old marketing scheme or marketing plan is going to work for you. Again, joining up with Pipeline ROI and making that first step shows that you guys understand how important it is to continue to move forward and continue to progress and to improve. And we're going to help you guys do that. Because, you know, the days are gone where you could contact a real estate agent as soon as you decide what you want to buy. Now, most customers have an idea of what neighborhood, what home size, and what countertop finish they want before they even contact an agent. It's like we talked about as far as purchasing a car, purchasing a home, purchasing a car, choosing a mortgage lender. Those are all big steps. They're big decisions. And people want to go into those being informed. And now more than ever, it's easier to be informed about anything and everything that you want to know about. The internet is readily accessible to anyone that wants it. And people take advantage of that. They really do. Young and old, it's so easy to just pick up your phone, open up your laptop, whatever, and just Google something. And you guys need to be what shows up when someone does exactly that. Because they won't be looking you up in the phone book and calling you. They're going to go to Google first. And you better believe that the ones at the top of that search list are getting the most hits. After the Google search, they'll browse around the website and stumble across your blog. 5 steps for first-time home buyers, best happy hour spots in town. It seems to them like you really know your stuff, which I'm sure that you do. And then they look you up on Facebook. Whoa, you have 1,300 likes, you must be a popular agent. If none of those things describe your current situation, don't worry, you can be that person. All it takes is a little strategy and a little work. So we're going to go through the 6 steps of inbound that every agent should know. They are publish, promote, capture, nurture, close, and analyze, aka the inbound methodology. The inbound methodology is the process behind a successful inbound marketing campaign. So while in the past, the way that most people found a realtor was through asking their neighbor, most buyers and sellers are likely to spend mass amounts of time on Google, Facebook, and I hate to say it, maybe even portals like Zillow or Trulia before they ever get in touch with a real estate agent. It's so critical for you guys to have a web presence, and that doesn't just mean a website. So as far as the inbound methodology is concerned, each of these parts work together to create an efficient whole. As you can see, we've shown it here in a circle. Why? Because your job is never really done. After you've taken all the steps and then analyzed their efficacy, it's time to use what you've learned and do it all again, but even better. So let's look at each individual piece of the puzzle and talk about what it means and why it works. Publish. The cornerstone of inbound marketing is great content, quality email campaigns, and a solid website. This step is key to attracting the right leads that you'll be able to nurture until closing. But before you publish, you'll want to decide who you're marketing to. There's no sense in writing a blog post about the best kids camps in your city if most of your clients are empty nesters. Identifying your audience is key to getting the right leads. And we all know when it comes to leads, quality beats quantity any day. A few classes ago, Ashley went over creating buyer personas, which is the process through which you can decide to whom you are marketing. In the comments, I'm going to go ahead and post a link to the worksheet that we've created for you to create these personas. It takes you right through the process, and it really helps you to, it gives you the form to fill out and all of that so that you can put it up on your bulletin board, hang it up in your office, whatever it takes to really key and hone in on who it is that you are trying to attract. Because if we just throw a wide net out there and just hope we catch whatever happens to swim on through, we're not doing the best that we can. I really highly recommend that you go through these and fill them out. More than likely, you guys already know who your customers are, right? Do you specialize in military relocation? Do you have a lot of first-time home buyers? Whatever it is, the more that you can target and reach those particular customers, the more your business will grow in that niche. Again, it's not just throwing a net out and hoping that you just happen to catch whatever comes through. If you can become an expert in one area, you will bring in more customers in that area by becoming that expert than just hoping that anyone and everyone that walks by chooses you. Because people are looking for experts, right? If they're in the military, they want to see someone that has experience in that area, in relocation and housing for people in the military. If they're a first-time home buyer, they're probably going to be nervous. Again, it's a big purchase, and especially if it's one they're making for the first time. If they can see that you cater especially to that demographic and they see helpful ebooks and articles and blog posts on your site, things from you just about doing that very thing that they're trying to do, they're going to feel confident that you're an expert in that area and that you know what you're talking about and you're ready to help them and answer any questions that they may have. I'll give you a quick example of what we do here at Pipeline ROI. When I write a blog post, I mention real estate and mortgage in the majority of the titles and definitely include those words in the content itself. Why? Because I'm writing about things that don't necessarily just have to do with agents and lenders, like SEO and marketing best practices. If I write a post about good inbound marketing habits but don't specify the people we really want reading it, we would have marketers, small business owners, and really anyone else who's interested in those topics coming to our site for advice. And while that's good for our site traffic, it doesn't actually provide us with any leads. Our platform isn't for them, and so our content doesn't need to be either. For you all, that can come in the form of location-specific content. If your blog posts are about buying a home, selling a home, or anything else that generic, you could be getting traffic from anywhere. If someone buying a home in New York reads your material and loves it, but you're located in North Carolina, it does you no good to have impressed them. Hyper-local content always works best. So, the best methods to publish content are blog posts, emails, and ebooks. And guys, we have provided so many pre-written things just right within our platform that there's really no excuse for not having it. It just comes down to putting the work in and clicking a couple buttons to make it show up on your website. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up our inbound marketing dashboard over here and show you the first tab, which is the Publish tab. This is organized exactly like that circle is. The first tab, Publish. I'm going to really focus on two main things here, which is new blog posts and website content page. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is click on New Blog Post. The first thing I want to point out is that having a blog is something that many of us are kind of overlooking. We're not really putting the work in. We're not wanting to do it. We don't see the value in it. We did a little bit of research into the numbers kind of behind people that do use their blog provided by Pipeline ROI versus those that don't. And so customers with at least one blog post in the last year captured 333% more leads than those who didn't. I know I've repeated myself multiple times today. I'm going to do it again right now. Customers who made at least one blog post in the last year captured 333% more leads than those who didn't. Guys, that is a huge number, and I know you know that. Putting in the work even once can make such a huge, monumental difference in your return. So looking at how this blog post, the page actually looks, the first thing that we have is our subject. You know, if you want to call it a headline, if you want to call it a title, whatever you want to call it. Let's say we are in Raleigh, North Carolina, and there's a farmer's market going on this weekend. Remember, we want that hyper-local content. So we're going to go ahead and type Raleigh to host farmer's market June 4. Okay, that's all that it takes right there. And don't worry about tags or category. None of that matters. If you want to start having different categories, that's fine, but don't even worry about that, especially for your first blog post. And then down here, this is where we type the actual body, the actual post itself. And you may be thinking, and I can see thinking it as well, that there are a lot of buttons up here. It can seem overwhelming. I know that you guys have used Word before. Think of it just like that. If you don't need to do it on Word, you probably don't need to do it on here. Once you get practiced and you become a blogging pro and you want to start adding, date stamps, time stamps, different things like that, different snippets of code if you want to learn about that, that's totally fine. Don't worry about it if you don't already know how to do it right now. Don't worry about it at all. All you need is just some content in here. So I'm not going to sit here and write anything out, obviously, but if we were to sit here and, type out a whole body, and then all that I have to do once it's done is just hit submit post, and it's immediately on my blog. So if I go over to my website really quickly, I'm going to hit refresh. And go to my blog. You can see right here, Raleigh to host farmers market June 5. Okay, if I click it, I go straight to it. I can go back and see all of them. It really is that easy, guys. And it may not seem like it to you because you kind of have to go through a few steps, but from our end and how we designed it, whenever I post a blog, let's say to the Pipeline ROI blog, it takes so many more steps than this. It takes putting it into different coding languages. It takes a lot of effort just to get a post onto that website. We have made it so easy for you guys to use it just like a word processor, like Microsoft Word, and to have something go straight to your website and be live. Again, it only takes one blog post to make a huge amount of difference. Even if it takes you an hour, even if it takes you 2 hours to write one, it doesn't matter. The return that you'll see from that, 333% more leads, 333% more leads. I can imagine that the return on that would be pretty decent for an hour or 2 hours work. If we're looking for, if you can't figure out what to write about, just go to a local news source. See what's going on around town that weekend. Maybe something's opening up like a pool. If your key demographic are young parents with young children and a pool is something that they might be interested in, go ahead and write about that pool opening. Now remember, we don't want to plagiarize because people, actual people, and search engines don't give us credit for duplicate content. Don't just copy and paste. Reword it into your own words. That's totally fine. Just talk about what's going on in your area. Inside your blog post, you can link using hyperlinks, which are these buttons right here. You can use hyperlinks and include listings that you have on your website for the area area of town that you have listings that pool is going to be in. It doesn't matter. Those kind of things that keeps people moving around your website, and you're really creating that one-stop shop experience for them, can turn a website visitor into an actual customer. Something else that I want to point out is that when you write these blog posts, they don't need to be Pulitzer Prize worthy. They don't need to be award winning. Just having one at all puts you a step ahead of your competition. Just write about your community, write about what you know. Don't feel like you have to turn into some wordsmith all of a sudden. You don't. As long as it's understandable and it's helpful and interesting, it's going to do its job. All right, so we're going to go back to the dashboard, and I'm going to show you one other thing, which is the website content page. I will point out also that we have videos here. If you click Learn More, a lot of these are going to have videos that accompany them that show you exactly how to do it. So, for example, if I hit Learn More by this website content page, it's going to start a video that shows you exactly how to create a website content page. That way you don't need to call into support, which you totally can. They're happy to help and will take you through the process as well. But if you want to try to figure it out on your own, we've tried to give you guys that option. So just watching these videos and doing it along with it, or watching it and trying to do it afterwards, that's going to be able to help you guys create that self-sufficiency and be able to use your website and use your platform to its fullest capabilities. So when I click on website content page, it's going to take me to an area inside the actual back end of the platform that allows me to see a list of the actual content that can be on my website. Guys, all of this content is pre-written. All it takes is 2 clicks and then hit save, so 3 clicks, and you can turn your website into just a fountain of knowledge for your potential customers. All it takes is a click right here by whatever you want to include. Let's say we want to include a list of gated communities. Well, no. Let's do holiday saving. You can put this up whenever you want, whenever the holidays roll around, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, for those types of customers. So then when we hit save, and it puts it on my website. Now, this pop-up that you see right here is asking if I want to send out an email campaign telling people that my website has been updated. We're not going to worry about that right now, but just know that that is an option for you guys. After I hit save, I can go over to organize content, and I can see now that holiday saving has popped up. Now I can put this wherever I want it. Maybe I want it inside the for buyers subsection. When I hit the plus sign, I can see everything that's going to be included under the for buyers section. And now I see that holiday saving is listed under this tab. I can move it wherever I want in here, but I'm going to show you guys what that looks like on the website itself. I'm going to hit save. Remember to always save it, otherwise your changes won't be updated. When I go to my site, I'm going to go under for buyers, and now you can see that holiday saving has popped up. It's that easy to make a change to your site, and it's all pre-written. You don't have to worry about it. It's all there, and you have now turned into the expert for your local community and someone that potential customer sees as someone who can help them, and someone who knows what they're talking about. It's that easy. And the reason that we want to have a website that's filled with this kind of information is because you have to offer something of value in order to get what you want from your potential customers. Something that I think of is the movie Silence of the Lambs. If you guys have seen that movie, you might remember the scene where Hannibal Lecter is in his cell and he's talking to Jodie Foster, Agent Starling, and she's asking him for information, and he tells her that it's quid pro quo, meaning that he needs information from her before he's going to give her any of the information that he has. It's the same thing for you guys. It may be a little bit of a weird analogy. You might think of your customers as someone like Hannibal Lecter, though. We've all had those kinds of experiences, but you have to offer them something before they're going to give you anything in return. What you want is their contact information, and we're going to touch on that later, so that you can keep in contact, so that you can talk to them, so that you can nurture them into becoming a customer. To get to that point, you have to offer them something that they want and show them that you know what you're talking about and that you can help them and meet their needs. The rest of the publish tab includes listings and things like that. I'm not going to go into that. However, support is always there to help if you want to learn more about that. There's videos as well. The next thing that we're going to talk about is promote. So while social media is not the only way to promote your content, it can take your content to the next level by sharing it with a wider audience. By building up your social media profiles, you can have the opportunity to share your content with hundreds or even thousands of people. So as millennials start buying houses, social media is also an important way of getting your brand name to new home buyers. While nearly every consumer uses Google at some point in the home buying process, many now also refer to social media profiles. And if a potential customer searches your competitor's name on Facebook and finds a page with lots of likes and valuable content, and then searches your name and sees nothing, you're already a step behind. And that concept really goes for all of this. It takes a lot of personal accountability to keep up with everything and to continue to run inbound marketing campaigns. But you have to remember that someone out there is doing all the work, and they're getting deals that could otherwise be yours. You guys are in the real estate game. It takes hustle, it takes work, it takes self-discipline, it takes self-motivation. That applies to this new marketing aspect as well, because you guys aren't just real estate agents. You're not just mortgage lenders. You're not just brokers anymore. You are now marketers, and taking control of your marketing for your business and really being the one that brings in those bigger and bigger paychecks is up to you, and it is going to take work. So another way to promote is through email. However, as far as email goes, you can only share it with the people that you have in your contacts. And at that point, we've started crossing over into the nurture category, which we'll talk about in a bit. The reason that social media is such an incredible thing now that you guys can take advantage of is because it's free. It costs you nothing to post on social media, make it public from your account, and if it's good enough, people will share it. Just one person that has liked your page or follows your account, sharing it, broadcasts your content to hundreds of people that may never have even heard of you otherwise, all for free. You have to be taking advantage of this because people are there. They're using it, they're sharing, they're reading, they're promoting for you. These are people that you aren't paying that have just found something that you've posted to be helpful, and now they're promoting for you. And one more person sharing it, from them sharing it, that's another few hundred more people. And before you know it, thousands of people have seen your content without you lifting a finger after you posted it once. So let's go ahead and look at that part of the dashboard. Again, this is all organized just like the wheel. So we've looked at publish, now we're to promote. As you can see, we've got a couple email options here talking about open houses and listings. I'm not going to go into that, but what I am going to go into is the text/image via social media button. There is a video here that accompanies it that you can watch, but I'm going to show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. So as far as this is concerned, you can write your own status or post right here. You can sit here and type it all out if you want to. However, if you're not feeling inspired, if you're not feeling like you can come up with anything, we've got you covered. Just go ahead and click this Inspire Me button, and all of these pre-written posts will show up. These are for your customers, not for you guys. So what you want to look for is something that your key demographic might be interested in. So let's say we are targeting buyers, and our customers are generally single. Okay, so right here we've got single and thinking of purchasing a home, and it's got a link and it says via time. If I hit ghost it, it rewrites that post to be completely new and original, but still saying the same thing. Here's a guide to purchasing a home as a single. Single and thinking of purchasing a home. It doesn't matter what it is. Single and thinking of buying a home, here's some tips. It continues to go through there, and there are so many different iterations, so many different options that you don't have to worry about duplicate content. And once you find something that you like, you just hit select, and it shows up right here. And you guys can actually continue to customize this even further if you want. If you want to add some exclamation points just to make it a little bit more exciting, there you go. I know a lot of people are about that. So we're going to go ahead and hit continue. And now we have the option to post it immediately or schedule it out. If I do immediately, I just verify whichever account I want it to go to and hit post it. But if I want to schedule it, I have that option as well. Let's say I want this to go out on Saturday. I'll just select the account. Right now all that's connected to this account right here is Twitter. So it's going to go to Twitter. You can see the Twitter symbol up here. I select the hour. I want it to go out at 2:30 p.m. and whatever time you pick is up to you. And when we talk about analyzing, we can talk about, kind of figuring out the best times to post. And then I'll hit add to schedule. And you'll see that it pops up right here waiting for your approval to go out or for you to delete it. So once I'm ready, I just hit post it, and I don't have to worry about anything else. As soon as Saturday at 2:30 p.m. rolls around, that post is going to go live to my Twitter feed. This is a great option for you guys to be able to take advantage of working ahead of time. If you sit down, you have a day where you can sit down and work on this platform, which I very much recommend that you do. Just sit down, take some time, write out a blog post. Sit down, take some time, schedule out some social media blasts. As soon as you do that, you can schedule out a whole month ahead of time and not even have to touch it again for that entire month. We know that you're busy, which is why we've given you the options and the ability to really set these things in motion and have things going and automated for you so that you don't even have to lift a finger. However, a very, very key and very important aspect of that is that you have to be the one that sets those things in motion. We're not going to post to your social media for you. We're not going to send out emails to people for you. That wouldn't really make much sense, and it wouldn't work. You have to be the one that gets these things going and gets your website off the ground. And I know that you guys have the ability to do that. It's just about sitting down and taking the time to do it. Because having a website, having just a website isn't enough. And if you guys didn't know that, you wouldn't be here with Pipeline ROI. You've got to do more. And this is one of those things that you can do that's so easy, it's so quick, and we've provided you with tons of content. And once you're used to seeing those kinds of posts, you just have to search around and find some that are similar, and you just write them up and send them out. You can schedule those as well. You've got to get this going, and you guys are the ones that do the work that goes into this. We just allow you to automate it as soon as you've done that work. So the next thing we've got is capture. So the first few steps, publishing and promoting, should be driving visitors to your website and getting lots of eyes on your content. But that doesn't matter if you don't have a plan for capturing those leads, for actually retrieving the contact information from those people once they visit your site. Now, there are lots of ways to accomplish this, but again, you want to offer something of value in return for someone's contact information. That's the core idea here. And what's great about inbound marketing is that your lead should be higher quality and more willing to engage. So let's say you wrote a blog article about that new swimming pool that's opening, and you've now shared it on your social media accounts. Okay, that's 2 steps right there. If someone that's interested in those things comes to your website, and then they see, maybe they're a first-time home buyer, and they've got a kid, and they're trying to settle down and kind of start that traditional lifestyle, um, and they see that you offer a free ebook for first-time home buyers, and it leads to a landing page, which we'll talk about in just a second. They're going to be more willing to fill out that information because you've already shown them that you cater to what it is that they're looking for. You cater to first-time home buyers. You know what's going on in the community, and you know what they're interested in, which would be something for their kids to do. No one wants the kids stuck in the house all summer. This allows them to feel like you are that local expert. You are that go-to first-time home buyer, local community savant, if you will, that can do for them what it is that they want. So, in other words, just think about it this way. They're the ones that are coming to you. You didn't blast them with information. You didn't have an obnoxious commercial on TV. You used high quality content to establish yourself as an expert, and they've now begun to see you as someone trustworthy. So your goal should be that by the time you ask someone for their contact information, they've received so much helpful content from you that they don't think twice about giving you their name, phone number, and email. And at that point, they're much closer to working with you as their agent or lender of choice. So let's check out the Capture tab. The thing that we're going to focus on really here is the ebook landing page. As soon as I click that, it's going to take me, this is generally blank, it's going to take me to a page that looks just like this. I'm editing my landing page, and I'll show you what that means in a minute. So we are going to pick, should I rent or buy? And you can see that all of this information is filled in for you. Right here you'll see a contact group for leads. Now you guys aren't going to have nearly as many options. What that is it starts a drip email campaign, which again we'll talk about that once we get to the nurture tab, and that's something else that you guys will have to set up, and again talk to support, call them. They're more than willing to help you figure out how to get all those set up. But essentially maybe I create a contact group that is that are people that have shown interest, that are deciding whether they're going to rent or buy. They haven't bought yet, but they're looking, and so maybe they're lower income, whatever. And I've created that contact group, and then I select that, so when they fill out this landing page, which again I'll show you, that starts them on an email campaign that can be focused entirely around that. It's called drip email because it goes out at different variables of time, whatever you select, and it'll continue to nurture them. Again, we'll get there in a minute. All these things are filled out already, the pros and cons of renting, the pros and cons of buying. These are all the things that they're going to learn from this ebook. And then right here we have an About the Author section. It will be blank. You guys get to fill that out because this is coming from you. Whatever it is, it can be the bio that you have on your Twitter, your Facebook. I suggest that it is, just because it kind of shows a little bit of consistency. But once you write that in there, you're good to go. So you can hit save and continue. I will show you exactly how that appears on the website. So under my ebooks, you can see all of these different options. So let's pick one. We'll do the renting versus buying, since this is what we were talking about a minute ago. You can see, like I showed you, we've got the pros and cons of renting, the pros and cons of buying, blah, 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 blah. Here's what you filled in as far as the bio goes. Okay, and this right here is the form that they have to fill out in order to have access to this ebook. Again, the key to getting them to actually fill this out and to be okay with giving you their information is establishing yourself as that expert before they get to this point. And now they're so interested, they want to know whether they should choose to rent or buy. So they're going to fill this out. And now you've captured them. You have their contact information, and you can email them, you can keep in touch with them, you can nurture them, which is the next step. Because as soon as they click this download book, they have access to it, and now you have access to what you want. Again, it's that quid pro quo. So let's go ahead and talk about the nurturing step. So you published your valuable content, you promoted it, and now you've captured some leads. And that's awesome, but you can't stop there. You have to nurture your leads wisely because it can mean the difference between landing a client and never hearing from someone again. But what does good lead nurturing look like? Examples of good lead nurturing include fast follow-up, the right message at the right time, and consistency. So let's go over and look at our Nurture tab to show you what I mean by that. The biggest thing over here is going to be our email campaign manager. Again, this has got a nice long video that goes along with it that will show you guys exactly what to do, exactly how to do it, and get you started on setting up these email campaigns. So you can see over here I've got different campaigns. The light bulb being on means that those campaigns are running. It's off means it doesn't. We're not going to go into this too much, but essentially what you're doing is you're continuing to keep in touch with someone throughout the process. Something that I've learned and heard is that a person has to hear something an average of 8 times before they actually listen. If someone needs to get 8 emails from you before they consider using you as their agent of choice, that's great because you can send them 8 emails and you don't even have to touch a button once you've got this all set up and going. But again, you guys are the ones that are in charge of getting this stuff going. If you don't know how, if you want help, call the support line, watch the videos, whatever it takes. It is so worth it. It's beyond worth it to do and to run through the inbound methodology the way that it's designed to be run through. So next we have closing. When you hear the word closing, you guys probably see commission checks raining from the sky and hear a hallelujah chorus, and it's definitely what you're in the business to do. But the inbound marketing cycle doesn't stop there. Every closing is an opportunity for important marketing activities, like asking for testimonials and gathering photos and stories for your social media accounts. So think about it. When is a customer happier than right after they close? So you can ask if you can take a photo of them with their keys in their hands, or ask them if they'll give you a testimonial on one of the sites where you have a presence, and it will build your online and word of mouth reputation in your community, leading to more business. Having people talking about you, having people linking to your site, all of those things that happen on the internet where your name is popping up and you're becoming more and more reputable in the eyes of Google, the higher up your search ranking is going to be. And the more that people just know that you're there, you want to be easy to find on the internet. The internet is a huge place, and the more that your name starts popping up, the more that people are going to notice it, the higher up again that Google is going to move it, and the better chances you'll have of someone landing on your website. And from that point, once you set up all that content, you are ready to really capture those leads and move them toward the closing table. So as you may have already realized, we don't have a close tab in the dashboard. Why? Because we can't really help you with that. So we catch back up with you after you use your selling skills to capture or to close your deals. The last step we have here is analyze. So you've used the great content and promotion to drum up interest, you've captured a lead, you've nurtured it, and now you've closed it. That's awesome, but you are still not finished. The most critical and overlooked aspect of inbound marketing is analysis. What good is all of your hard work if you don't know if it's really working? Sure, a closing is a sign that something's working, but what? And how can you be sure you're able to repeat that successful strategy? What could still be better? Once you've determined the answers to these questions, guess what? It's time to start all over again. Something else you might notice is that the analyze portion of our inbound methodology chart is in the center and not around the edge with the rest of the pieces. Why is that? Because to be the most effective, you should be analyzing the efficiency of each and every step of your marketing. It's like good science. You may remember in elementary school, middle school, high school, whatever it was, whenever you would do science experiments, you could only change one variable or one part of the experiment at a time to see what was affecting the end result. This is the same way. You can only change one piece at a time if you want to know which part is and isn't working correctly. If you change everything at once, you'll never know. So keep this in mind when working on your strategy. If you feel like something you're doing isn't as effective as it should be, just change one aspect and see if it fixes the problem. If not, you can change it back and move on to another one. Basically, it's like a process of elimination. And guys, at first, before you have all this stuff set up, there's nothing for you to analyze. Remember, you've got to get all this stuff going. You've got to put in the work. You've got to sit down and do all this before there's anything for you to analyze. So let's look at the Analyze section of our site. You can see that we actually have a tab here, but something that you might also notice is that these sections follow you through whatever tab you're on. That's because you're analyzing through every step, right? So what we can see is that on this first part we have our website traffic. So we can see our referrals, our organic searches, and our direct searches. What a referral is, let's see, so in week 21 of 2016, which was between the 21st and the 24th of May, we had 19 referrals, which is another site linking to us. And guys, that other site linking to your website could have been done by you. If it's on Facebook, if it's from you writing a guest blog, whatever it is, once you get this going, if it's someone else that wrote a testimonial and they link to your site, whatever it is, those links, as they're being clicked, are referral links. We have organic searches. We had 4 organic searches, which means just searching on a search engine. If you're in Raleigh, they look up Raleigh real estate and they came across your site and clicked it. Those are organic search results. And then we have direct, which is from an email or someone typing in the URL. Okay, so that's just directly linking to your site. We can see what our most visited pages were, what campaigns we've been sending out, those nurturing campaigns from that tab, and then inbound links and things like that. Okay, we can see what statuses we posted, all those kinds of things. Again, there's nothing for you to look at here until you've put in the work to get this site going and get it off the ground. So, you guys have heard it all now. Publish, promote, capture, nurture, close, and analyze, the inbound methodology. So let's review quickly how they correlate and interconnect. The first thing you do is publish. For example, writing a blog post. Please, 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 today, tomorrow, sometime soon, write a blog post. If you take anything away from today, I would love for it to be that. You've got to do it. The next thing you'll want to do is promote that published content. If no one knows it's there, they don't know to look for it. So, for example, you can share the post on your social media accounts. This leads to someone checking out your site. They're trying to buy their first home and see your pipeline ROI provided ebook geared for that exact demographic. So they fill out your form with their information and boom, you've captured them. So once you've got them captured, it's time to nurture. Through one of those purposeful email campaigns, you can keep in touch with your lead until you close them. After closing, you'll want to turn their business into referrals and more business. And guess what that means? If you get pictures, you get testimonials, it means you have content to publish and promote, and thus the circle continues. Remember, throughout all of these steps, you're constantly analyzing the effectiveness of your tactics and adjusting as need be. So what you might be thinking right now is that it sure seems like a lot of work, and I have news for you. It is. But I think we can probably all agree that successful people are busy. After all, you're busy already. But the thing with the Pipeline ROI platform is that it's all accountability. Like I said earlier, you are not just a real estate agent anymore. You are not just a mortgage lender anymore. You're not just a broker anymore. You are an inbound marketer. And we give you every single tool you need to run a successful marketing campaign all in one spot. But guys, you have to actually use it. Sure, there are things we can automate for you along the way, like those ghostwriter-enabled ebooks, the social media inspiration posts and scheduling, and those drip email campaigns. But it's up to you to set those things in motion. Again, we do not do any of these things for you. It's all set up so that you can set them to do them themselves, but you have to start them up. In other words, we've given you the keys, but it's up to you to drive the car. So yes, it's going to take discipline. Yes, it's going to take some creativity. And yes, it's going to take work. But you work in the real estate industry. No one sells homes or closes loans for you. Your whole profession depends on your self-motivation, your hustle, and your willingness to work hard. And it's going to extend to this too. If you want to stand out among the crowd, if you want to leap over your competition, you have to put in the work. If you want more leads, to set yourself up for more closes, and to be responsible for your increase in revenue, today is the time to get started. And I know all of this can seem intimidating. There are so many things you can customize and control within our platform that your tendency might be to just ignore it rather than to tackle it head on. But just having a website isn't enough. You've got to do the extra work. But hey, slow down. You don't need to do it all at once. This is a learning process, and it's constantly evolving. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Approaching it in bite-sized pieces is a perfect way to get a handle on everything, slowly but surely. This is the process going forward for you guys. Stopping, taking a day to write a blog post, and then taking another day to figure out how the social media accounts work and posting some posts to those, going through, calling up support, watching those videos, setting up some email campaigns so that when people fill out forms, they start getting your emails. Whatever it is, just take it one at a time. It doesn't have to all happen at once. And I want to do everything I can to help break it down for you guys and show you just how simple it can be. Again, it's not about using every nook and cranny of the platform from day one. So next Tuesday, I'm going to give you 8 things that you can do right away that will increase your potential for leads. We've compiled a list of statistics that compare those who have and haven't done certain things with their website, and I think the difference in lead generation is going to shock you and motivate you. You'll definitely want to be there. So before we close today, and I open it up for final questions, I want to make sure and hit on the variety of options you have at your disposal for getting help with your platform. Help.pipelinерoi.com is available to you 24/7 and allows you to take a hands-on, self-help approach to learning how to use the platform. By calling 866-300-1550 and selecting option 1, you'll be connected to a support technician. Now, this option doesn't just apply to actual program issues. You can call with any questions you have about using the platform. Want to know how to set up one of those drip email campaigns? Call tech support. They'll be happy to help you through it. We also have a YouTube channel with a lot of helpful information and videos, including recordings from these live trainings. So feel free to browse around and see what helpful info you can pick up. And last but certainly not least, you can attend these biweekly training classes. This is the best place to ask specific questions about inbound marketing and to see live demos of how to accomplish exactly what you want with your platform. So with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for any more questions until the top of the hour. There's about 5 minutes left, and then we're going to go ahead and shut it down. Thank you guys for watching today, and we'll see you next Thursday.